Where did I hear something from some friend of mine was like, "Hey, homunculus." I don't even know what the fuck he was trying to say. Anyway, go for it, D. Tell people who's allowed to be here.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get the flying flock out.
Precisely right. Go join a flock of seagulls. Join a flock of geese for all I care. Flock of ducks. Whichever flock of birds you'd like to join, go join that flock. Just don't watch this show. This is for adults only. It's always infuriating when I get a freaking what is it called? A age restriction after a show. Wouldn't you know it? We got an age restriction for yesterday's show because, of course, we have some delightful super fans who are obviously super winners at life and have these parasocial relationships with people on YouTube, and they apparently just get really butthurt when anything good happens to me. So, salute to you, cocksuckers. I'm sure they're furiously masturbating in the background at the I don't know, chaos that they basically cause online. It's really something else. You really can't get anywhere in life, basically, because of these fucking trolls. But I guess it is what it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of you who are able to still watch yesterday's show, go watch it. I think it was a great interview with Miranda Family Farms. I certainly got to know him a lot better. I've known the guy for easily 6 or 7 years, probably longer than that, because he was talking about 2017 this, 2018 that. I was like, yeah, that's about right. Like, honestly, I got to know quite a few of Sub's old testers and I don't know, different people that, were in the subosphere, I guess, or whatever of probably back in like 2018 more. I guess I probably didn't start. Oh, I don't even know when I started really testing for him. I guess Banana Jack was my first. So whenever that was, and that was probably way back like in 2018 maybe. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, long story short, though, the story wasn't about me. We got to talk to Miranda Family Farms. It was super fun to talk to him. He has a different perspective than, well, all of us have different perspectives, right? I think that's one of the beautiful things about being able to be a grower. I think it's one of the beautiful things about being able to be a cannabis breeder, for example, is that you get to do things your own way. I mean, honestly, how do I put it? You have to do things your own way so that you differentiate yourself. So before long, even if you didn't want to be your own person, you end up basically being your own. Oh, I just noticed some really pretty azaleas right out my window there. This azalea right in front just started blooming. Anyway, what was I trying to say? It was fun talking to him. He comes from a different perspective. For example, he deals like many people, like Mr. Toad, like many different breeders. He's dealt with the medical side, really, of cannabis and had to deal with, pain and everything else. And that gives him a different perspective. I have to be honest, it's hard for me to think that those people are not more honest. I realize that maybe I'm biased on that perspective, of course, because I do come from a little bit of the same perspective. I've said before that I actually literally did start growing for my dog instead of for me. So, everyone has their own motivations how to get into stuff, right? But where am I going to with that? That I think a lot of other breeders out there are just fundamentally dishonest people that are cash grabbing the next biggest thing. And if it was heroin, they would be doing that. If it was fucking computer chips, they'd be fucking doing that if they were smart enough. So it really is maddening to me to see the amount of you folks that are beholden to some really fundamentally dishonest breeders. Gosh, the amount of them that you guys don't even seem to realize. You could figure it out. It's not hard to figure out. You don't have to have a private source. A lot of these fucking guys are white label seeds. A lot of these guys don't grow their own plants at all. Gosh, I could name half a dozen. It's literally that easy to find names. They don't grow plants at all. Many of them don't smoke weed at all. Like it's fucking it's ridiculous. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves for some of the purchases you make. And then we have somebody like Miranda Family Farms come on who is honest. I think it's always refreshing, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to somebody like that. Anyway, go check it out on my bigger channel, Fumidor and the Flavors. Demonetized completely as it is. It might be hard for you to find. I don't know anymore. I don't know what all the ramifications of that are. But for the moment, it's still visible. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check it out. And please hit the like button. I'm sure it doesn't fucking matter, but it makes me feel better probably. And leave a comment. That actually would make a difference. For example, if you'd like to ask future question, or if you'd like a follow-up question. For example, Miranda often stops by in the chat. So, folks, and I am working on something, hint, hint, for the future potentially for this Wednesday show. So there might be some ability for you guys to interact with follow-ups and stuff like that. So Ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment. I would really appreciate questions, follow-ups, things that you liked about the interview, for example. I would really love to hear that kind of stuff because if you guys want to hear more of one thing, less of another thing, I know I like to veer off into the kind of philosophical sometimes. Did that certainly with Bingus and so on, but and Bingus was into it, right? So sometimes it works out. But evident, every once in a while, maybe it's too much or whatever. So ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you'd like to focus more on. Tell me the kinds of things that you'd like to see more of. And honestly, tell me more of what you would like to see on the show. So I'm trying to go a different direction. We're going to be veering pretty hard away from this really permissive kind of show that I've basically just given people the free reign to do whatever the fuck. I don't know. My whole concept was that it was supposed to be kind of a cannabis cafe, cannabis pub, whatever, and everybody was welcome in off the street. But unfortunately, a lot of riffraff came in, as they do, into cannabis cafes. I mean, I guess there is no such thing as a cannabis cafe, but you know what I'm trying to say. People just wander in off the street, and if you don't fucking tighten things up, and if you don't make sure that they know what the rules are and stuff, they start to take over. And wouldn't you know it, a lot of times that happened. And I was just going through stuff in my own life, so it was just kind of easier to let that all happen, I guess. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's no point in continuing in that way, so we're going to tighten things up quite a bit. There might be quite a few shows that are interview and interviewee only, no panel whatsoever. There might be other shows that have a little bit of both. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the rhythm goes. Also, of course, I'll be playing it by ear, basically day by day by day, because clearly these trolls are just never going to go away. I have a really, really small channel, a fairly small following compared to, gosh, I've looked around, even some of the other people that we talked to. Gosh, some people that I'll just be honest, I'm nothing if not honest. Some of these other folks, I am baffled how they have accumulated their incredible followings. One of the reasons why they are able to, it seems like, is they don't seem to have as many trolls. Maybe they do, and they just deal with it better. Maybe that's their gift. So I really can't judge them. But it's hard to justify doing much of a fucking much on this channel when it's constantly getting demonetized, constantly getting this, that, the other thing. Fuck right off, dude. I had four channels at one point. I got these two lifeboat channels that I haven't thankfully had to use for I don't know six or 8 months because people keep reporting my shit. Like I'll kind of evaluate it on an ongoing process. I don't really like the idea of being kicked off by trolls. It's just kind of a personality flaw, you might say, where I'm just like, fuck you very much. I'll stay here forever just to fucking spite you. But at the same time, there is an element of reality. It's like, dude, how much are you going to invest in a futile cause? So we'll play it by ear, but that's one of the reasons why I'd love to hear from you folks in the comments on even this video. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Let me know what you'd like to see less of. Let me know what you'd like to see more of. Let me know if you have any ideas, hopefully, for the future. I'm honestly surprised that when I say this, I don't get much feedback. I'm really genuinely surprised because I know a lot of you folks we get regular viewership from a lot of people. I know you guys are, a lot of you are very loyal fans of the show, fans of the kind of community that we built, I guess. And I'm surprised that you don't have anything to suggest because most of the time on the internet, all you have to do is say, hey, anyone want to say anything? And then you get fucking deluged with ideas. Oftentimes you then just have to filter out the bad ones, right? But ladies and gentlemen, seriously, I am very receptive to any suggestions for future guests, suggestions for future conversation topics. If you guys would like to see, for example, really tight discussions about specific things, we oftentimes don't really do that. But gosh, every once in a while we'll dig into something, and then unfortunately it just gets lost. That was occurring to me the other day. It occurred to me the other day, rather. We were talking about something that I forget now. Honestly, I forget what we were talking about, and it was so interesting. Sandy soil, low S soil. That's what it was. We were talking about basically potentially redoing mixes for Afghan or northern Pakistani, that kind of thing, the Hindu Kush kind of area plants. We were like, oh, what's the soil composition? I think Silent Truth was digging into that, and we looked it up a little bit, and and it never really went anywhere. We had an interesting discussion, but then it died on the vine, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm like, fuck, that kind of stuff never gets brought up again. I'm like, dude, I think it might be a good idea when we have something cool like that and have something that's worth digging into. We should take a note, put a post-it note on the fucking screen there, and then basically work on it maybe for a few weeks or maybe even a few months until we find an answer. I can tell you that nobody else I know is doing that kind of, excuse me, nobody else I know is doing that kind of stuff. And unless we leave it to fucking Marlboro, because I'm sure they're probably doing that kind of stuff, the rest of us are never gonna have a chance. I think one of the beauties of open source technology in general, because people don't realize that it's not just in quote unquote high tech or computer programming, computer programming or something. People have throughout history had open source inventions. They'd share propeller designs, they'd share sail designs, on and on and on, to help each other out. Basically, not everything has to be about, even if it is about dollars and cents, everybody has to fucking make a living, but not everything has to be coldly about me making more than you. Like we can actually contribute to our own mutual success, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage you to help me, help myself, and help you, I guess, in this metaphor. I guess I didn't think it out very well before I thought it out or before I said it. But anyway, I encourage you guys to contribute. I guess that's probably the better way to look at it. For hopefully a better way forward. I'm always trying to figure out better ways to grow. I think the whole thrust of this, again, it's not just this show, but you know what I'm trying to say. This show, my other shows, is to, enjoy ourselves, have a good time with friends, make friends, hopefully, but also learn how to be better growers. And I know plenty of us have done so. I've heard it from people in the chat. They've learned all kinds of stuff over the years. You'd be surprised the kind of stuff, because I always talk about how cross-disciplinary discussions can be so beneficial. It can take a while sometimes to bear fruit because you're not always, if someone's talking about salt growing and you're a fucking organic grower, it might take a while for something to really click, but you'd be surprised how often that cross-disciplinary information makes you have some kind of an epiphany. Anyway, I'm babbling, I guess, in circles, but trying to basically get around the fact that I'm hoping that these shows are a positive outlet. I'm definitely not here just to fucking kill time until we die. I hope you guys are not here to kill time until we die. I know there's plenty of YouTube channels that are that way. And hey, you know what? If that's what you need, go do that. Honestly, those channels are there for a reason, I'm sure. Everybody needs a community. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope that we are here for, we don't all have to be fucking optimists. I mean, many of us have been slapped by the long dick of life, right? But the point of the matter is that we don't have to be pessimists either. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to be constructive. Let's do try to be optimistic about stuff. And by the way, I haven't opened up the YouTube chat yet, so I don't know if anybody's talking yet. I'll open it up here in just a second here. There he is.
18 watch,
Ladies and gentlemen, what's that, D?
18 viewers.
18 viewers, right on. Cheers, folks. Good to see you. Oh, I'm probably logged in on a few more on the flavors. Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, can't do a poll. Dang it. All right. Well, your
Mama,
mama loves the polls. So it's always a pity when we can't provide them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Who's in the chat here? Join me, folks, in switching to live chat. There we go. Boom. Uh, yeah, it looks like I think tomorrow. I think I might be rendezvousing with Jones Ain to Grow. That should be super fun. We haven't actually
really?
figured out where we're going to meet. We have to figure that out, I'm sure. But yeah, it looks like that might happen. Well, I hope I
Good
didn't just
on.
jinx it. He's probably going to have a chance to meet my silly little puppy here. Because I can't really leave him
Puppy.
at home. I mean, he's a good boy and everything, but he's still a young boy. I don't know. I don't leave him at home. I need to spend more time with the whole leaving him at home for a half hour, leaving him at home for 45 minutes, leaving him at home for an hour. Da, 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 da. It takes a while sometimes with dogs. My last dog that I probably don't talk enough about, honestly, but the dog that's my profile for Female in the Flavors, he had terrible separation and anxiety when he was a pup, to the point that when I was down in California, like my place, the I was in the interior courtyard. I wish I was on the exterior courtyard, but whatever. My place was on the interior courtyard, so you hear all the fucking assholes yelling sometimes, and all the people fucking report each other for stupid shit. Jesus Christ, HOAs. Anyway, my hot tub, well, the hot tub for the building, it wasn't my hot tub, was literally though like right out my window. Like you could basically throw a pebble, not even a pebble, but like a paper, whatever, and like I'd go out to the hot tub and my freaking dog could hear me. Like we could say like, hey, say his name, hey, be quiet, da da da, because it was so close, right? Or he'd hang out in the bedroom and we could see him looking out the curtain or something. We could see his freaking nose on the screen. Be like, oh, it's okay, we'll be right back. But he'd howl and howl and howl. He was so sad, freaking silly dog.
Aw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thankfully, he wasn't destructive. The only thing that he
Right on.
destroyed one time really was the my uh, um, what's it called? Emergency brake lever. Came back downstairs and I heard it was the weirdest sound too because I heard it was like this metal grinding whatever. And I come to the car and it's just my dog chewing on oh, it's just I left it that way. It's like a fun reminder of his
Oh
puppyhood. He
my.
was such a little guy. Anyway, but this little fucker, the one time that I left him, I can't remember. I had to leave him for some reason for maybe a half hour, 40 minutes or something. I came back and he'd fucking scraped the door. Oh my God, asshole. The thing is just the bedroom door, so it's replaceable. It's actually fixable probably, but yeah,
Yeah.
so I need to work on him with the whole don't do that kind of thing. But hey, it's fun. I actually love driving with my dog. I don't know, but people are weird. I'm surprised that people don't drive with their dogs more. Cheers, Finding Keepers. Good to see you. He says maybe a show on Bud Shots photography. A wonderful reminder, Finding Keepers. I can't even tell you how long it's taken me to get back into my whole swing of things. It's fucked up. With the passing of time, I'm more convinced that basically it was intentional. That basically somebody fucked up my hard drive where all my photos were. It's a long story. It's whatever. Divorce is wonderful. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm still hoping that I can get some of my old photos back. But whatever. It's a long story, but it's basically like jumbled up and oh, it's fucked up. Basically, imagine taking a bookshelf and just taking all the pages out of all of the books and then basically like tipping the whole thing over and then just shuffling it the fuck all over the place. That's essentially what I have basically. And some of the pages got encrypted because they got fucked up and some of the pages didn't. But the most important thing is here you have Gulliver's Travels, here you have fucking the Encyclopedia Britannica, whatever. And they're just, oh my fucking God. So yeah,
Right on.
basically it's gotten so oppressive that I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna touch those photos anymore. Maybe just make new ones. But long story short, I guess I'm babbling. That doesn't make any sense to you guys. My point is, it would be nice to get back into the swing of things with photography, and I think it would be super fun to do. I remember Smash talked about it a few times. A couple people, I don't remember exactly everybody who said in the chat, oh, it'd be fun to do a show talking about how to do bud shots potentially just even having fun showing off your setups, showing off the way you do things because again it's fun to learn about stuff, maybe working on some macro stuff because a lot of people would like to know, hey, how do you do macro, how do you invest in it, da da da. Okay, Fumi, it's great you told me how to, because I've told people over the years, oh, go buy yourself a whatever, because for every camera it's a different lens potentially, but for example full frame Nikon, Canon, Sony, 100 millimeter macro, perfect, right, a 100 millimeter f2.8 macro. Every one of those companies has one of those lenses. Da, 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 da. Okay, great. Now, how do you use it? What do you do with it? How do you start to light something? Okay, do you have to have a flash? Could you do it outdoors? There's all kinds of stuff that I think you guys would enjoy working on. You don't have to spend a fortune necessarily for macro stuff. So, for example, today, you don't know where the fuck I am. You don't know what the weather's like. But today, it's semi-sunny. It's kind of, I guess you could say well, right now, actually, I only see blue sky, but I'm just from being outside. I remember it was partly sunny. Wouldn't you know it? Not the best time to go outside and take a cannabis bud and try to take a photo because you'd be surprised. I mean, it makes sense as soon as you think about it. The sun is a hard pinpoint of light. It's 98 million miles away, so you think, oh, it's probably spreads the light or something. And it does. It spreads the light all over the solar system, but it's still such a bright, it's a spotlight basically. And so what happens is it casts shadows all over anything you take a picture of. So, for example, midday, midday just gives you this harsh light, basically. But for example, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you'll get this crazy harsh shadow light. And so, for example, you'll take a picture of, for example, a beautiful woman, but you'll have just a little bit of an angle away from the sun, and it'll show these fucking deep, shallow pits of shadow, and it makes her look like a fucking ghoul or something. It makes her look 20 years older. Same thing with cannabis bud, basically. You take it outside and you think, oh, this is going to look great because your azaleas look nice. My azaleas are so pretty. But when I think about it, oh, there's hard shadows all over them. If I wanted to show that online, it would look like assholes, basically. It wouldn't literally look like assholes, although I guess azaleas do kind of look like assholes. But what am I trying to say? Uh, for example, yesterday it was a cloudy day. Basically, the overcast, the sky was a big flash softbox. So instead of spending maybe a few $100s or even a few $1,000s on getting a flash and a softbox and da 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 and setting the whole thing up, you could literally walk outside on a overcast day and basically find a nice background for your flower, and you essentially have this beautifully lit with almost no shadows, if any shadows really, at least from the top, obviously, cannabis shot, right? Anyway, these are things that I think a lot of people would enjoy. Cheers, Bengus. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I think people would enjoy talking about these things. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Uh, who was it? Was it Silent? No, it wasn't Silent Truth. It was Finding Keepers, I think, that said that. By the way, cheers to everybody else in the chat. Oh, I didn't even post a link here. We're actually about halfway through the show. Folks, hop on here. You guys are welcome. Right now, we're not doing any special guests or anything, so you guys are welcome to hop on here. It's not just supposed to be me monologuing here, but I guess I certainly can monologue if I have shit to say. D Zombie says, I love Lime River Rose. Good to hear it, D. I hope to have that again here
I'm
in the
looking.
near future.
I
Go ahead, buddy.
I heard a little birdie tell me that might be a version of Lime River Rose V2 coming out.
That's right, indeed. Actually, there is Lime River Rose V2. I just have, for inexplicable reasons, never ever once put it on the website. I don't know why. Just stupidity, perfectly honest. I don't know. It's not even laziness. It's like just for some stupid reason, I've never put it on there.
Even though
That's with the Black Prince Ruby father instead of the original Ruby Jack father. But Lime River Rose version 3 is in the works. It's going to take a while, but
oh,
it's still in the
what?
works. So, long story short, trying to bring the limey back or some shit. I don't know.
Arr.
Good to see you, Agnes Beckett. Who else in here? Digger. Good to see you, Digger. Welcome, buddy. Finding Keepers, of course. Good to see you. Who else is hanging with us? Bingus was saying the quote unquote cannabis community, so quoting Bingus, the quote unquote community is full of those that take other things besides cannabis. Cannabis is used to balance out other drugs. It's the cannabis demographic, more so in his opinion. Keep being you, Funidor. I think it was a typo. I wish he was still here because I'm not
Later,
a
Bingus.
100%. I think I get the message, but I'm not 100% following. So cannabis community follows those. So pointing out that there's a lot of people that use cannabis to modulate their other. I guess that was a more nuanced point than I'm really getting right now. Hopefully, Bingus can bring that up in the future again. Cheers. Bonjour, Christophe. Good to see you, buddy. Big Force. Always a pleasure to see Christophe in the chat. All right, cool. But so we're technically, well, not even international show because we're international with D, but we're now intercontinental, motherfucker. Boom, yeah.
Booyaka.
Drop. Booyakasha. I'm not gonna drop my mic because it's on the stand. uh,
Drop
excuse
the
me. Cheers,
mic.
Jake. Good to see you. Says 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock rock. Who else is
Yeah, you have
hanging?
to scroll back to see what you were talking about. Yeah.
What was talking to Jay? Completely missing it. Oh, John says it's gonna be fun times. Oh, Hillbilly. Cheers, buddy. He snuck in there.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Now, AO Operation
That's right.
Annihilation.
Operation Annihilation. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. For some reason, I'm very hiccupy today. My dog can't get rid of hiccups. Well, he can. It's not like all day long, but he's actually just turned 6 months old. Literally 6 months old, like yesterday. Yeah, right. The time flies. Um, but he still has the kind of baby hiccups, I guess, and they just come throughout the day. A lot of times after he eats, but throughout the day, like he'll just hiccup for 10 minutes. Apparently, it's a thing that little puppies and I guess kids too. Just they grow out of it. I googled it a couple times, and people were like, "Oh, don't worry about it." He doesn't seem to worry. He gets a little bit annoyed every once in a while if it goes on for too long, but very chill dogs. That's cool. Cheers back to you, Hillbilly Herb. Oh, by the way, we didn't even say hello to you, D. What's going on, buddy?
Hello, everybody.
Roll a joint.
You can find me on Instagram at D_zombie_, where I just won that battle. However, thank you to
You
the
won a
troll
battle.
motherfucker.
Was it against, let me guess. It was against a Japanese samurai dragon. It was literally a dragon that had become a samurai, and you beat it.
There you go.
How close was I?
Exactly. But yeah,
Did I nail it?
exactly. You got it
Nailed
right.
it.
Nailed it. But yeah, so I won that battle. I'm back on my normal Instagram again.
Oh, that's right, because your Instagram got shut down. I'm sorry. I was being sarcastic and you
Oh,
were being serious. My apologies. Yeah, that
no,
was pretty
no, I
fucking
thought you were,
ridiculous.
It's funny. And you can also find me on gzombie_745 on YouTube, where I
Well,
do a free show
he sure
before
do.
the
He sure
year.
does like the doo doo. You know who else likes to doo doo? Is
Your
dragons.
mom?
They like to doo doo. Um, Yo mama is into it. It's kind of gross, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is hanging with us? Anybody else new? Nobody else is hanging. Nobody else is saying hello. Make sure to tell us
Yeah.
what you're puffing on, ladies and gentlemen. I am. Oh, but another reason why it would have been nice if Bingus was still here. I'm going to be puffing on Bingus Berry. Too bad I
Right
couldn't
on.
tell him that. I've really been enjoying. Bingus sent me Bingus Berry and Budzingus, two good names. Although I think Budzingus is funnier. It's funnier to say. Budzingus. Especially when you get high on Budzingus, then you're like Budzingus.
Yeah.
Super fun, actually. Both, I think both of them, for sure the berry, but I want to say both. All right, I can't swear to both of them, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, that makes no sense. For sure, the Bingus berry. I'm not sure about the Budzingus because I definitely smoked this yesterday and it happened again. 20, 30 minutes after I smoked the joint, my eyelids get uncontrollably heavy. It's the funniest fucking thing. But it's funny because I'm not actually sleepy. You know, like normally when that happens, I don't know, what was when I took a huge dab of Donny Burger one time. First time I think I ever took a dab of Donny Burger, and oh, it was like, it was literally like a melting on my face or something. It was really funny. Um, uh, like overwhelming, seriously, overwhelming sleepiness. Uh, but this is not sleepiness. It's not sleepiness at all. It's not like I don't feel, I feel relaxed, but I don't feel like, oh, let's go to sleep, Feminor. It's like literally like I just cannot keep my eyelids open. Very intriguing. Clearly quite a bit of that sort of relaxing effect in there. Anyway, very, very, very interesting. Well done, Bingus. Be better if I remove that little piece of stem there. Um, Hop on though, folks. We got a little bit left in the show. We certainly don't have to be here for the next half hour if nobody hops on here. So maybe we'll just tune in. I'm hoping, I can't promise next week yet, but we're working on it. We're kind of, these are placeholder shows, hoping to do something a little bit different. So just haven't had time. Honestly, just got my puppy and other stuff to deal with. So ladies and gentlemen, I realize I've been making excuses for I don't even know how many weeks now, but for the time being, you're at least still welcome on here, folks. If you guys want to hop on here, tell us what you're puffing on. Tell us what you guys are working on for the day.
Okay.
Perhaps you'd like a little break and just tell us how the garden is going, whatever. Show us your garden. It's been a while since anybody other than, well, that's not true. A couple other people have shown us their gardens, but normally it's just smashed. Oh, dude, I'm so annoyed with this. Speaking of which, gardens, I just love growing in basements, and I cannot stand. It's not like, for example, right now I'm growing in the room next door. Oh, I don't know. I'll get my mojo one of these days. It's just I love the I loved how easy it was in my basement. I don't know. The temperature was almost always 64, so I could basically control how the temperature was in the
Right.
tent by changing the airflow, changing whatever. You know, it was super easy to always control that. Whereas now I have to think about the entire environment around it. I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it, honestly. It is what it is. I'll get used to it. I don't hate it. I just, I'll get used to it. It's just so unusual. For example, the
Yeah.
garage, I'm still fucking trying to figure that out. By now, I should honestly be able to grow in that garage. This is the prime time, but I think I'm just fighting myself. I don't know. I'll get there. I'll get there. Luckily, the outdoor's doing well. So
Right on.
at least something. Fucking bullshit. Um, What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm so thankful I finally have some strawberries again. I'm not going to have very many strawberries this year, but at least I do technically have strawberries. I used to have this wonderful strawberry patch. It was a blend of several different strawberries, so they would flower or they would fruit at different times. They would actually fruit from late spring all the way through August, and just constantly. And we always had strawberries, literally always had strawberries. Uh, at least 5 or 6 strawberries every single day. If there wasn't 5 or 6 strawberries every single day, it was really unusual. And unfortunately, that got purposefully killed. Again, how wonderful. But so anyway, someone purposefully killed my fucking strawberry patch, and ever since I haven't had fucking my precious strawberries, basically my favorite fruit. So anyway, it was really nice. One of my neighbors was really kind enough to give me some strawberries, and apparently their neighbor, because they grow like a fucking weed, honestly, when you get them established. So you pull out their rhizomes, I guess. I can't remember exactly, but I think that you pull out the strawberry shoot essentially, and you can just give the whole thing to somebody and it'll, take fruit. That's actually how I started my old strawberry patch, was that I got some strawberry starts from friends and neighbors and stuff. uh, which honestly was more meaningful somehow,
Oh,
just going to get it at the store or something. It's, oh, here's some fucking strawberry. But, these were strawberries that people had selected themselves or kept for many years. Anyway,
I think it was
Jones Entry Group just finished a bowl of Wi-Fi 43 from last night, rolled some day-friendly citrus dank, claiming to be Acapulco Durban. A clone I got 2 or 3 years back, about to get replaced by mimosa and mango lemonade. Oh, interesting combos. Um, I have that Wi-Fi 43, but it's going to be a minute before I can flower it because the fuck happened to it? Oh, I broke a branch off in the stupidest possible way. I was doing
Oh,
something in the garage. Yeah, I just literally dropped something on it and broke an entire branch. So the tree, it
oh.
was mostly two branches. It was a nice big old plant. I broke one branch off. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" So I threw it back in the veg tent for a little while, and we'll chopped it down and we'll let it come back up again. How annoying is that? Anyway, it's been a long time since I smoked Wi-Fi 43. Actually, I've smoked a bunch of crosses, of course, but way back probably in the cannabis club that's been now closed for how many years, and I don't know how many years ago that was. So looking forward to it. What's Hillbilly saying? TG3 came out. Oh, they're talking about something else. Oh, Hillbilly Herb is talking about I have an old picture camera called an Olympus Stylus TG3. I have my old somewhere. I have my old Olympus. Oh no, Stylus something or other. That was a great camera for the time. Olympus made wonderful cameras. Actually, they still make good cameras. Although Olympus, oh, actually a very sad story. They Former CEO and board, I think, essentially defrauded the company, if I'm remembering right. They basically defrauded the company. I'm forgetting the details right now. But anyway, all of a sudden the rug got pulled out and they didn't have any fucking money and they had to go basically bankrupt. And essentially overnight, almost everybody lost their jobs. Pretty big company actually in Japan. Not big by camera standards. So they probably had in their imaging division, they probably had 10 or 15,000 employees or something. So it wasn't, IBM or something, but it was still a decent sized amount of people. Almost all of them lost their jobs. And almost overnight, basically, they had to flip the company to first one private equity company. And then I think they sold the imaging company off to another private equity company. Oh my God. So now it's like, they call themselves something else, Olympus Imaging. I don't even remember what it's called. It's not actually even Olympus anymore, but they still do make the cameras. Anyway, they have a really loyal following because wouldn't you know it? Go figure. They have one of the best autofocuses. It's probably a combination of the very small sensor, their micro four thirty, or not a micro, they're the whatever, smaller sensor, doesn't fucking matter. Or maybe they do call it micro four thirds. I don't even remember, but it's a smaller sensor than, the Canon full frame and stuff, which I guess is partly maybe why uh, it doesn't matter. I honestly haven't shot with one of those cameras for a while, but they make really wonderful lenses and stuff. Anyway, it's always a shame when one of those companies disappears because like less competition is always worse. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thing. Like I used to have some Olympus film cameras. They were wonderful. I had an OM2. They're legendary for their lenses. So it's always sad when one of these companies goes out. One of these days, Pentax is going to go away. Everybody seems to know it. It's amazing that they're still around, but they're so behind. And Pentax is another one of those companies. Like if you've ever shot cameras, like you have a soft spot for Pentax because they have just legendarily good lenses. They always made these like fucking tank cameras, on and on and on. So it's like fuck when Pentax goes, like we're all gonna have to salute a good one or something. You know what I mean? Anyway, cheers. Nobody else is hopping on here, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just roll this joint, puff it for a couple minutes, and then bounce. Ladies and geraniums, do check out yesterday's show. We had a wonderful chat, I think, with Miranda Family Farms. Ladies and gentlemen, super cool guy. I certainly didn't know him very well or didn't know his breeding or anything very much beforehand. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface too, so one of these days we'll have to have maybe a part two or something. What was I going to say? I feel like Florinug said he had some questions. So anyway, one of these days maybe we'll have a chance. But go check it out, folks. Hopefully soon I'll start editing. I'm 4 or 5 interviews behind now, but hopefully I'll start updating the podcast again.
Right
We
on.
certainly have some great potential episodes. We got Miranda Family Farms, Bingus, Flora,
All the
like I
green.
said, all that's green, 100%. Um, should be spectacular.
Yeah, man.
or at least interesting. Doesn't have to be spectacular, but could be. That was maybe a little. Holy shit! Should be fucking spectacular. Oh my god! You're gonna shit your pants. No, you're not. But it is going to be a good. You're going to enjoy
Oh,
the conversation. Yeah, all it's green. That was a fascinating interview. Another one that I feel like we could
yeah,
have gone quite a bit longer. Just barely scratching the surface on some of the things she could have said. So fascinating, I think, interview there. Bingus is a super cool guy. Same
yeah.
story. Flora, goodness gracious. Everybody here that knows Flora knows we could talk about weed for a few years. So go check those conversations out, ladies and gentlemen. And do tell me, of course, what you'd like to improve. I am not going back, so don't tell me, oh, I'd like to go back to the dipshit conversation shows. No, not really. Not going to go back to those. No offense, folks, but I don't know. There's only so much that I can stomach. Some of those shows are really super interesting, and sometimes the conversations are really great, but sometimes you guys just talk about fucking nothing, and it's just I don't even know. And then I go do something else, and then as soon as I hand it off to somebody else, some of you guys are good at taking over. For example, D doesn't tolerate any shenanigans, but every once in a while, some of you guys, other folks that don't have the best technical setups and stuff, your phone drops and whatever. And I realize it's innocent, but then someone else takes over the show, and then you end up playing fucking YouTube videos and stuff like the other day. Like, no, that's I just no, we're not going back to that ever again. Like two or three, maybe even three people, I think, DM'd me or texted me because one person had my text in the middle of the night. Hey, so and so is playing music on your channel. Fumi, da da da. And so I frantically have to go back and fucking edit down the video so I don't get removed permanently from YouTube. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting a lid on it. This is Bingus Berry, ladies and gentlemen, from the one and only Bingus.
Sure, put
Excuse me.
the thing on.
Um,
She's a good guy.
it does seem like it. Uh, Not too far away from me, actually. I don't know how I got this impression, but I thought he was like way east Oregon, like Lapine or something. But no, he's actually not too far away. Yeah, that's right. He's a published cannabis author. He's not too far away at all. So one of these days we're gonna have to rendezvous.
Get the book and you'll sign it
Um,
for you, I'm sure.
yeah, right. Fun. What was I gonna say? Yeah, hopefully I'm putting it off for a long, long time, but hopefully finally I'm gonna start doing my meetings again and little by little. I have a couple friends who really are kind of champing at the bit, I guess is the expression, to get started on that too. So hopefully. First thing I always say, I gotta have weed, so gotta have good weed. At least that's always been my kind of thing, I don't know. My tasting group was like, I gotta bring, doesn't have to be the best weed, but it has to be some of the best weed of the night. I don't know. It's just kind of, that was how I did it. I don't know. Jones Edgegrosa and back to the road preparation. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, man.
Hasta luego, amigo. See you Saturday.
See,
Buenas noches.
that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, still a couple minutes to hop on here though. We're goofing off here. We might bounce here, and I don't know. If nobody hops on here in the next 5 or 10 minutes, we might bounce.
Uh,
But ladies and gentlemen, if you are willing to hop on here, we'd be happy to hear from you. Say hello, show off your garden, tell us some suggestions, for example. If you'd like, oh, Jay Patrick's got to pick his daughter up. Have a good one, buddy. If you guys have any suggestions for future shows, like I said, future guest ideas, whatever, or even honestly breeding ideas, those are always fun. I can't promise I'll do it, right? Because it takes sometimes months and years to prepare stuff, but it's always fun to hear ideas. Shit, I would love to hear it. For
yeah.
example, I wonder if anybody, I'm not going to have a chance to do this, but I wonder if anybody has ever feminized Wi-Fi 43 onto itself. It sounds like they probably have when I think about that, but I wonder if they've then in-crossed that and spent some time working down that line. There are so many different crosses that it would be really fun to see what you could really pull out of their weirdness. Um, yeah, nobody else in here.
A little bit of Moroccan I'm gonna smoke then.
Oh, right on, D.
Yeah. And I got my Grey Goose, big huge boulder.
Freaking Grey Goose.
Sounds like a cigarette brand. A
It's a
native
very
cig-
famous vodka brand.
Oh,
It's
right.
it's an American brand, but they're French vodka. It's made in France, and so a lot of people, when you if you were to ask them, they would say that it's a French vodka. It's actually an American brand, but they gosh, they've been around for like 20 years now, honestly, when I think about it. But they became really prominent. Um, how do I put this? Uh, Well, they were one of the first companies basically that made the big tall fucking bottles, so you had to put it on the top shelf. So they became a top shelf vodka. They created the whole kind of concept really of a top shelf vodka. It infuriates me. It annoys me honestly because vodka is vodka is vodka. Like honestly, if you make it well, it's vodka. Like and
Vodka.
there really is not much of a difference between some of the best vodka and some of the more mediocre vodka. But people will spend easily, happily $50, $60 for a so-called premium vodka like Grey Goose whereas they could very easily get a halfway decent potato vodka for the same price for $20, $25, and it would be spectacular. I guess
Apparently,
I'm bad, but it doesn't have to be potato vodka. Pardon?
apparently, a couple moonshine, some moonshine. Here we go again. Can't fucking talk. Can talk fine off on camera, but can't talk here. Anyways, apparently some moonshiners make really good vodka just out of potatoes.
Oh, there's
And
no
it's
reason why moonshine has to be
yeah,
bad. The only reason why moonshine is considered, well, a couple of reasons why moonshine is considered garbage, because bad moonshiner, unscrupulous moonshiners won't really separate the parts of the distillation. So
yep.
I
The
can't remember what
heads,
yeah, the head and basically it's the wrong kind of alcohol. So it's actually literally
the bar,
poisonous. There's also toxins if you do it wrong. Yeah, there's ways to distill properly
methyl,
and not properly.
methyl alcohol.
There you go.
Sorry.
And then also, when any distilled alcohol comes off the still, it's fucking harsh as ball sack. It's really, really strong. It's fucking alcohol. It's pure spirits, basically. It's
Yep.
not pure spirits, but it's very, very, very strong. And usually you have to dilute it dramatically to make it bottle strength. So, for example, bottle strength scotch is what, 42% usually. It's right around that area. Alcohol, when it comes off the still, it's like 96% basically. It's almost entirely alcohol with just some other aromatic compounds. So then they literally have to water it down in the bottle. And so, for example, you get like different, in Scotch, there's the cask strength and the this and the that and the whatever. Well, you can get, for example, new make Scotch, which is literally basically right off the still essentially. And it tastes like banana. It tastes like banana bubble gum. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It's like harsh, but it's also like banana bubble gum and it gives your throat like a weird fucking tickle. And then only after literally a few years, for example, with bourbon, it's only maybe a couple, 3 years, but they use fresh oak, so it's a lot more tannic. Scotch, they use the old barrels that the bourbon guys already used, so it takes many more years for it to soak up those tannins and become a little bit more mild, palatable, whatever the expression might be. So moonshine, there's good moonshiners, there's bad moonshiners.
Yep.
I've had exceptional moonshine actually, and even off the
Really good
still,
luck.
even basically just bottled fresh off the still, it was drinkable. I mean, you had to water it down, but it was tasty, drinkable, interesting. So it really is a kind of a skill thing, and quality of ingredients definitely. What am I trying to say? Oh, I'm babbling around the court. What did you
There
say
he is.
originally? You said that some moonshiners. I can't remember what your original thought was. That some
I was just
moonshiners.
talking about how moonshiners
Oh,
can
some of
make
them make
make
good vodka. Gotcha.
vodka,
There we go.
but just
Yeah.
potatoes. Hey, speaking of hardcore just popped in. I was looking
Right
for
on,
him.
Uncle.
Have you you've seen the skull vodka? Have you seen those? It's like a skull and it's like a vodka. There's vodka in it.
Oh, I thought you were saying skull like or skull like tobacco.
Oh,
No, you mean like a skull vodka?
yeah. It's
Oh,
like a you can get this vodka in these skulls now. Well, we've been
oh,
able to get them for a while. Dan Aykroyd's actually one of the had people that do it.
gotcha.
But nowadays, no, I was just saying that because hardcore's here. Now people are doing, they're taking the glass skull bottles, and they're painting them really funky, different colors and shit. It's really cool.
That's cool.
If I don't have time right now, I would have brought up some pictures.
If Dan Aykroyd is involved, it probably means it's expensive, which means I probably
Yeah.
just wouldn't buy it. So like my whole thing is anytime I see a really fancy tequila bottle, or a really fancy, for example, vodka bottle that's like a glass skull, I'd be like, oh, okay, they basically spent all their money on the skull bottle, and it's probably not even that good anyway. It's probably going to crack anyway, and the vodka inside is probably not that good. So for example, you see this crazy every once in a while, you go to Costco or something, they have this crazy, whatever the fuck, it's a dragon and whatever the fuck. Like, oh, great, that $27 bottle of vodka is basically $26 worth of glass and a little bit of fucking, ethyl spirits or whatever the fuck that they poured in the end. I'm being an asshole, but the point is that if it were good alcohol, they wouldn't have to put it in a whatever the fuck, a dragon or whatever the shit. I don't know. I mean, it is cool
That
that you could get a glass skull. I just wonder how good like how sturdy it is. I'd rather just buy a
I'm
glass
gonna show
skull.
you a picture. Ones.
You know, it'd be cool though, is to fill it up with neon.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Right.
Oh, fuck off. Do 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 do.
Although now
Now
that
we
I think
take
about
a
it, there
week.
is a dude, although his bongs are like $100,000, the dude with the glass dinosaur skulls that are like neon, whatever the fuck, and it's like a $100,000 rig. Crystal Head vodka for 54. Yeah, that's exactly. Like the bottle literally comes from China or Mexico. The bottle is I mean, the bottle is actually probably surprisingly expensive, to be honest. $5 or $7, maybe, even at fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Wholesale prices. So then basically the vodka that they pour in another few dollars. I don't know.
Oh,
How do I
excellent.
put it? Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not too
wow.
optimistic about that. What do they say?
Wow.
Crafted from locally sourced Canadian corn, it's distilled 4 times in a neutral,
Yeah.
clean spirit blend with brain. Vodka's filtered 7 times. I mean, it's fine. Like I say, vodka's vodka. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't spend
Yeah.
$55 for that unless you wanted a glass skull shaped like a bottle.
That was the big rage a while ago. I'm trying to get rid of it now. There we
I
go.
gotcha.
But yeah. So now
To each
apparently
their
they're
own.
they're painting them really crazy looking with like neon shit like
Mm.
hardcore does with his wheels.
So Billy Herb says the skull bottles are pretty cool looking. Would be cool to turn one into a bong.
Hardcore
Um,
says it's top shelf. I don't know. I don't drink vodka. I don't drink at all really. If I drink
Thing is,
vodka,
again, top shelf vodka, people are used to paying $50 for it, but actually some of the top shelf, I hate to say this because I can't stand Russians anymore, but there's one thing that you can't really argue with Russians is vodka. For example, Russian
oh,
Standard, literally the brand Russian Standard, is essentially one of the best vodkas you can buy, and it is literally like one of the cheaper vodkas you can buy. It's usually somewhere in the every state is different for their rules, but I remember, for example, in California, it was like 20, $25 a bottle. Maybe it's a little bit more now. I don't even know. Again, don't buy it because it's fucking Russian. You can get Ukrainian, you can get Polish vodka that's just as good. But a good example of the fact that it literally was the top shelf. It's essentially the best vodka you can buy, but it's not the most expensive vodka you can buy by any stretch of the imagination. Um,
later
oh,
tie.
there's a bunch of other ones that are just fine. Like I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's got kind of the different flavor. Monopolova, basically, it used to be the communist monopoly, but it became a private brand from Poland. Luksusowa Monopolova, I think it is. Stoliczna is uh, formerly Russian brand that basically went overseas. They're officially an American brand, but they do it the Russian way, basically. Actually, Stoliczna is okay. Surprisingly decent. I think they spend a little bit too much money on marketing and stuff. That's the thing. Dude, it's grain alcohol. Like vodka's vodka. You don't age vodka. Like there's none of the things that make any of the other spirits interesting is in any way involved in vodka. It's literally fucking shit that you distill. You could do it out of a palm tree if you really wanted to. It's basically grain alcohol. The same thing really as gin, honestly. And how do I put it? There's a lot of I love gin, but ultimately gin is basically the same fucking thing that they add some botanicals into. They add 50 cents worth of botanicals to a goddamn barrel of grain alcohol, and then they turn it into fucking Bombay Sapphire or something. That's true, you know what I mean? But how do I put it? Vodka is even worse than gin in the sense that there is no flavoring added whatsoever. It's literally just distilled spirits with some water added. So spending $50, $60 for it is just fucking horseshit. Spending 50, 60 bucks for bourbon, you don't always get a better bottle, but you oftentimes actually do get a more interesting, better bottle. Aged longer, a little bit of a different mash bill made by a little bit more involved people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Same thing with scotch. You can get ripped off with scotch for sure too, but generally speaking, when you pay more for scotch, you get literally something like it's aged longer, aged in different materials, maybe finished in a sherry cask, on and on and on. But vodka, you're just literally paying more for it. Agnes Beckett says she calls it bottle bling. Oh, that's pretty funny. Well, it looks like no one's going to hop on here, so I think we're going to bounce here shortly. Let's see here. Oh, I have not had, I forgot completely to confirm. Maybe Red Setter Farm this Saturday, maybe. But we'll have to confirm with him first. I don't want to put him on the spot. We were talking about, I think, this week, but if he is busy, maybe we'll have to do it next week. We'll figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. Although, goodness gracious, I might be busy next week. Anyway, we'll have to figure it out. That's part of the problem with Saturday shows. But anyway, we're hoping to get Red Setter Farm on here. A super fun guy, another guy that I've actually known on here, not as long as Miranda Family Farms, but definitely for a few years here, mostly on the kind of YouTube community. Don't think I got a chance to meet him personally. No, when I was in Michigan, I didn't get a chance to meet him as far as I remember. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, super fun guy,
Yeah,
grower, I believe breeder,
father,
definitely extensive tester. What's that?
father,
Father, there you go.
new father.
Dog father as well. He's definitely people remember Diogi, I'm sure, and certainly a dog lover. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah,
Um, what would you call it? Not backyard farmer, ho backyard homesteader might be the word for it. Anyway, we'll
yeah,
talk to him when we have a chance to talk to him because he definitely does a lot of the kind of farming, vending vegetable seeds, vending vegetables, on and on and on and on. Super intriguing guy. Uh, how do I put this? Living things his own way, doing things his own way should be a really fascinating and just also a nice, interesting guy, really funny guy, seems like a really smart guy. So really looking forward to that discussion when we get a chance to have him on here. Don't actually have any other guests lined up. I had a couple sort of lined up and then they sort of fell through, at least for the near future. We'll have to reschedule them basically. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next couple of weeks we have essentially available. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to hear from some folks, some ideas. Would love to hear from, again, breeders, growers, people who enjoy weed a lot, honestly. But, how do I put this? I don't, how do I, what am I trying to say? I do want to focus on kind of the cannabis experts. I don't necessarily want to talk to Joe Blow on the street that is super fascinating. I do want to talk to people who have a little bit of skin in the game or something. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully it makes sense. So, folks, send ideas my way, Fumidor at chronictable.com. You can also use chronictable at protonmail.com, I believe is the actual first and main address, whatever. A lot of times, if you email me from Gmail, I have to respond from the Proton Mail at Proton whatever because Gmail has this anti-spoofing feature that I've just given up trying to fix. And Hardcore say still not awake, probably going back to sleep. Right on, dude. He's saying my first day back to work was a rain day, so I slept in, just woke up now. Right on. Oh, he's saying Crystal Skull vodka is almost $100 a bottle. Jesus H Christ. Holy cannoli.
wow.
Yeah, that's spend your money on whatever you want to spend your money on, but I wouldn't spend $100 on a bottle of vodka. That's 100% for sure. Basically, you're spending $90 on the bottle and $10 on the vodka. That's pretty much what you get. Because remember, top shelf vodka doesn't cost more than $25. So you don't have to spend $100 on so-called top shelf vodka. But again, spend your money on what you want. I don't mean to, people be like, oh, fuck, you know, I like that vodka. All right, I'm sorry, dude. Enjoy it. Have your crystal skulls and paint them. It'll be fun. That sounded sarcastic, but I wasn't being sarcastic. I was actually being serious, even though it sounded sarcastic. So folks, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Uh, no major announcements, I guess. So we really don't know what's going to happen on Saturday yet, D. My apologies. Maybe the interview or maybe the takeover. Is that all right? I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
feel about that? All
cool.
right. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Come on by on Saturday for either or both, honestly. And if we can't get Red this Saturday, we'll hopefully get him another day. Unfortunately, he can't do Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so that's the annoying part of it. So that's why we have to focus on Saturday. But like, luckily, we have three options, right? So there's an easy solution to it. So like I said, throw me some suggestions, folks. Please do visit my website, fumidora.com. Use the coupon code BRAINS. D, how do you pronounce
Ah,
that?
brains.
Nice, nice. Just in case, if you need voice to text or whatever, I realize I did just say that, but it's always fun to say it anyway. So there's the website right there. Thank you, D. Go check out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's going to be some interesting stuff actually coming up. I didn't realize I was going to have quite as many packs as I did of one cross that I think you guys will enjoy. We'll see. I won't tell you what it is quite yet, but I think you guys will enjoy it. How long can I wait before I actually finally release those? All right, I have to finally release them in the next few days. Ladies and gentlemen, do thanks for hanging. Oh, I should give it off to D. Go for it, D. Go
Thanks
for it.
everybody for watching. Thanks to everybody lurking, smoking a joint, doing a dab, maybe gardening in the background. I'll see you all on Saturday. Hello, Southern Vintage. Just
Cheers,
tonight
VT.
at the right time to say
Yeah, man.
goodbye. So we'll see
Yeah,
you all Saturday.
yeah, man. Cheers, D. Good to see
Thanks.
you. Cheers as always, VT. Good to see you as well. What is Agnes kidding about? I don't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for hanging. We'll see each other, I guess, when we see each other. If it's, well, it'll probably be Saturday, but if it's an interview or a takeover, we'll figure it out on the way. Thanks very much for hanging, folks. Be kind, be decent, be gentle, don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics. Make sure to puff something wonderful. I surely am puffing something wonderful from Bingus. Thanks very much, Bingus. Bingus Berry from our good friend Bingus. Hopefully a little bit later in the day, I'll be puffing on some triple burger that I grew. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much, and adios. Thanks for hanging. Cheers, D. Cheers, everybody else. Cheers, everyone in the chat. Consider yourselves all shouted out because I just didn't take the time to shout you out. So we'll just do it the lazy way. And adios, folks. D is doing the royal salute kind of thing. Thanks for hanging, folks. And